The shot that stopped time. March 12, 1944. The eastern edge of the Casino Plain, Italy. Dawn has not yet broken, and the cold sits low over the ground, clinging to olive trees and shattered stone walls like a living thing. You are crouched with the men of C Company, 2nd Battalion, 133rd Infantry Regiment, waiting for the signal to move. The night has been long and wet. Mud kicks boots and trousers. Rifles are held close, fingers numb, breath controlled. Somewhere ahead, beyond the gentle rise of farmland and ruins, German positions watch in silence. Captain Robert H. Mallory checks his watch by the faint glow of a hooded torch. 0510 hours. The attack is already late. The plan is simple. Advance across open ground. Reach the stone farmhouse near the embankment. Secure it. Push on toward the river line before daylight gives the enemy a clear view. It is the kind of movement that relies on momentum and confidence. Stop moving, and men begin to think. Mallory raises his hand. The platoon leaders pass the signal back with quiet urgency. Boots shift. A man whispers a prayer. The line begins to rise. That is when it happens. There is no thunderous crack. No dramatic echo. Just a sharp, flat sound that cuts through the stillness like a snapped branch. A single rifle report, distant but unmistakable. Private First Class Daniel Russo, third man from the left, drops straight down. Not forward. Not backward. He collapses as if someone has switched him off. His helmet rolls free. His rifle lands in the mud beside him. For a heartbeat, no one moves. Then someone shouts, "Sniper." The word travels faster than any other. Men dive for the shallow ditches and shell scrapes that barely qualify as cover. Mallory throws himself behind a low stone wall, heart hammering. He peers over, scanning the tree line, the farmhouse windows, the broken church tower in the distance. Nothing moves. Russo lies face down in the open. No sound comes from him. The medic starts forward on instinct, then freezes as Mallory grabs his webbing. "Stay down," Mallory hisses. That's what he wants. The sniper has fired once. Only once. And already the attack has stalled. Mallory knows what that means. This is not random fire. This is not a nervous sentry. This is a professional. Someone who has been watching, waiting, measuring the exact second when movement would expose a target. The men feel it too. You can see it in their eyes. The way they flatten themselves into the earth, making themselves smaller than they have ever been in their lives. Every bush becomes a rifle barrel. Every shadow feels alive. Seconds stretch. 10 minutes. Lieutenant James Carter crawls up beside Mallory, his face smeared with mud and sweat. "Sir," he whispers, "we can't see him." Mallory nods. "I know." Another shot rings out. This one strikes Corporal Ellis in the shoulder as he shifts position behind a rock. The bullet punches through muscle and spins him sideways. He screams before he can stop himself, clamping a hand over his mouth as if ashamed of the sound. Panic ripples through the line. 2 shots. 2 hits. No missed fire. No wasted rounds. Mallory understands the danger now. This sniper is not trying to kill everyone. He is trying to freeze them. German doctrine has taught this lesson well. A single marksman, properly concealed, can halt a force many times his size. He does not need to destroy the unit. He only needs to make movement feel fatal. Mallory risked a glance through his binoculars, slow and careful. The farmhouse remains still. The olive trees sway gently. The church tower is empty, its top blasted away weeks ago. The sniper is somewhere else. Somewhere smarter. The men begin to whisper again. Questions they already know the answers to. Where is he? Did you see that? Who's hit? Mallory signals for silence, but fear does not obey hand signals. The sun is rising now, just enough to silver the mist. Visibility improves by the second, and that only makes things worse. The sniper can see them more clearly now too. Russo is still lying in the open. Mallory clenches his jaw. Leaving a man out there eats at the unit, so going to get him feels like suicide. The radio crackles softly. Battalion wants to know why C Company has stopped. Mallory does not answer immediately. He is watching the ground, the angles, the places a single rifleman could control this entire field. He realizes something chilling. The sniper has chosen this moment perfectly. The unit is exposed, committed, and uncertain. One more shot could break them. Or none at all. Because the fear is already doing the work. Mallory raises his hand again, this time signaling for everyone to stay exactly where they are. One unseen man, one rifle, one bullet fired with absolute precision, has just paralyzed an entire company. And the day is only beginning. The ground becomes the enemy. The order to stay still settles over the men like a weight. No one argues. No one even acknowledges it out loud. They already understand. Movement is death. Captain Mallory presses his cheek into the cold stone and listens. Not for gunfire, but for anything out of place. A scrape of boots. A cough. A metallic click. The sniper is somewhere ahead, but he may as well be everywhere. Minutes crawl by. The sun lifts higher, burning off the mist and replacing it with cruel clarity. The field that looked harmless an hour ago now feels like a killing floor. Shallow furrows run through the earth, but they offer little protection. A man would need to crawl 10 meters just to reach marginally better cover. 10 meters might as well be a mile. Corporal Ellis whimpers softly behind his rock, blood seeping through his sleeve. The medic inches toward him, dragging his body through the mud with painful slowness. Every movement is deliberate, rehearsed, cautious. The medic knows the sniper is watching for exactly this. He pauses every few seconds, waiting for the shot that does not come. That silence is worse than gunfire. Mallory watches the medic reach Ellis and apply a field dressing with hands that tremble despite years of training. Still no shot. The sniper is patient. He is not reacting. He is controlling. Lieutenant Carter crawls back again. "Sir," he whispers, "we can try suppressive fire." Mallory shakes his head. At what? Carter swallows. The truth hangs between them. There is nothing to shoot at. Spraying bullets into trees and walls will only announce desperation. It will not kill a man who knows exactly where he is and why. Mallory thinks about the German snipers he has read about in briefings. Men train not just to shoot, but to observe. To understand human behavior under stress. They know that soldiers will freeze, then panic, then make mistakes. Another shot cracks. This time it strikes the ground between two soldiers, kicking up dirt and stone. A deliberate miss. A warning. The men flinch as one, pressing themselves even tighter into the earth. The message is unmistakable. I am still here. I can still hit you. The radio operator crawls up beside Mallory, eyes wide. "Sir, battalion's calling again." Mallory takes the handset, keeping it low. "This is Mallory. We are pinned by sniper fire. At least one expert marksman. 2 casualties." There is a pause. Then battalion asks the question Mallory dreads. "Can you maneuver?" Mallory looks at the field. At Russo's unmoving body. At the medic frozen halfway back with Ellis. "Negative," he replies. "Any movement draws fire." The answer on the other end is clipped and unsympathetic. "Find him. Find him." As if it is that simple. Mallory hands the radio back and exhales slowly. He knows the unit is bleeding time, and time is something they do not have. Artillery support is limited. Air support is non-existent this close to friendly lines. The sniper has chosen terrain where heavy weapons are more dangerous to Americans than to him. Mallory signals for Sergeant Thomas Reed, the platoon's best shot. Reed crawls over, his M1 Garand wrapped in cloth to reduce glare. Reed's face is calm, but his eyes are sharp, scanning constantly. "You see anything?" Mallory asks. Reed shakes his head. Whoever he is, he's good. He's not in the obvious places. Mallory nods. Where would you be? Reed considers. Low. Not high. Everyone looks at towers and windows. I'd be near ground level, with overlapping fields of fire. Somewhere he can withdraw without being seen. Mallory follows Reed's gaze. Toward a collapsed irrigation ditch near the far hedgerow. Toward a line of rubble that looks too random to matter. Another minute passes. Then another. The men begin to sweat despite the cold. Muscles cramp from holding unnatural positions. Fear gnaws at concentration. Every second spent pinned increases the chance someone will break, stand up, run. That is what the sniper is waiting for. Mallory makes a decision. A dangerous one. He signals Reed and two others. They will attempt a crawl to the left, using the shallow ditch as concealment. It is not much, but it is something. The idea is not to kill the sniper. Not yet. It is to make him choose. As the three men begin to move, inch by inch, Mallory watches the field ahead with unbearable intensity. The shot comes almost immediately. It snaps past Reed's helmet, so close Mallory hears it crack the air. Reed drops flat, unmoving. The sniper has revealed himself just enough to show intent, not position. But Mallory has learned something critical. The sniper is watching the left flank. Which means he is not watching somewhere else. Mallory shifts his attention, his mind racing. The paralysis is cracking. Fear still rules the field, but now it has a direction. And direction is the first step toward breaking the spell of a single, unseen rifle. Hunting the invisible man. Captain Mallory does not move immediately. He lets the moment breathe. The sniper has fired again, but not to kill. That matters. It means the man out there is still shaping behavior, not reacting to it. He is confident. And confidence creates patterns. Mallory shifts closer to Sergeant Reed, keeping his body pressed low. He's keyed on you, Mallory whispers. Which means he thinks you matter. Reed does not look away from the field. He's right. Mallory allows himself the faintest nod. Then let him keep watching. Mallory signals to Lieutenant Carter and points subtly to the right, toward a stretch of broken stone fencing half buried by weeds. Carter understands instantly. He begins assembling a second element, men who will not shoot unless they are shot at. Their job is to exist quietly, patiently, where the sniper does not expect danger. The sniper fires again. Another deliberate near miss. A bullet punches into the dirt beside Reed's shoulder, spraying grit across his cheek. Reed does not flinch. He remains perfectly still, a statue carved into the earth. That discipline matters. The sniper expects panic. He expects fear to leak through movement. When it does not, something shifts. Mallory watches carefully. The timing between shots is changing. Longer pauses. More observation. The unseen rifleman is reassessing. The medic finally drags Ellis fully back behind the wall. Ellis bites down on a strap to keep from screaming. Still no shot. The sniper has chosen not to waste ammunition on a man already out of the fight. That tells Mallory something else. This sniper is not emotional. He is not angry. He is methodical. Mallory crawls back to the wall and lifts his binoculars again, slower than before. He stops looking at places a man might fire from. Instead, he looks for places a man might hide after firing. Near the right flank, beyond the stone fence, the ground dips slightly before rising again toward the hedgerow. It is subtle. Almost invisible unless you are searching for absence rather than presence. A place where a body could slide backward without silhouette. Another shot rings out. This one hits nothing. Not even close. It is fired high, snapping overhead like a whip. Several men cry out involuntarily and press their faces into the dirt. Mallory exhales. The sniper is reasserting control. He senses momentum shifting and is tightening the leash. Mallory keys his radio quietly and whispers for a mortar section to prepare smoke, but not to fire yet. Timing will be everything. Smoke too early gives the sniper concealment. Smoke too late means more blood. Sergeant Reed shifts his finger slightly, tapping the dirt twice. Mallory looks at him. I think I know where he is, Reed murmurs. Not exactly. But close. Mallory does not ask how. Men like Reed often cannot explain it. They feel pressure. Geometry. Angles that do not lie. Reed continues, barely moving his lips. If I were him, I'd be low, behind that rise. Firing through brush. With a secondary position 10 meters back. Mallory follows Reed's line of sight. It matches his own suspicion. Another minute passes. No shots. The silence is heavy now. Not controlled. Tense. The sniper is waiting for confirmation. For movement that proves the Americans are still trapped. Mallory makes his move. He signals the mortar team. White smoke blooms suddenly on the left flank, thick and fast. Not everywhere. Just enough to suggest an attempted withdrawal or flanking maneuver. The field changes shape in seconds, lines erased, distances distorted. The sniper fires immediately. A sharp crack. The bullet slams into the stone wall near Mallory's head, chipping rock. It is the first shot that feels rushed. There it is. Impatience. Reed fires back, a single round, not at a man, but at a piece of brush near the rise. The shot is not meant to kill. It is meant to provoke. A fraction of a second later, Mallory sees it. Not the sniper himself, but a disturbance. A shift in foliage that does not belong to the wind. Right side, Mallory whispers into the radio. Low ground. Just past the fence. Carter's element is already in position. They do not fire wildly. They crawl closer, using the smoke and noise to mask movement. The sniper fires again, this time at the smoke, blind and angry. Another mistake. Mallory feels the paralysis breaking. The men sense it too. Fear is still there, but now it has competition. Purpose. Reed fires again, closer to the disturbance. Dirt jumps. A shape pulls back. He's moving, Reed breathes. Mallory tightens his grip on the binoculars. The spell of a single unseen rifle is weakening. The sniper is still deadly, still dangerous, but now he is being hunted. And the moment a sniper becomes prey, everything changes. Breaking the spell. The sniper's movement is subtle, almost elegant. A trained man never runs unless he has already lost. He slides backward, low and controlled, using the contour of the land the way water follows a groove. Mallory sees only fragments. A darker patch of earth where a body had been. A branch that settles too slowly. But it is enough. Mallory raises his fist and rotates it once. Advance cautiously. No one rushes. The unit has learned its lesson. Speed without awareness is what the sniper has been feeding on since dawn. Carter's men close the distance meter by meter, rifles held just off the ground, eyes scanning for the unnatural stillness that betrays concealment. The smoke begins to thin. Visibility returns in ragged layers. Then the sniper fires again. This shot is sharp and close, cracking past Carter's lead man and smashing into the fence post behind him. With splinters. The sound echoes differently now. Less distant. Less godlike. Mallory notes the change instantly. The sniper is no longer firing from dominance. He is reacting. Reed fires back without hesitation. One round. Then another. He is not spraying. He is walking the shots, testing, pushing the sniper to move again. The enemy responds with speed this time. Too much speed. A ship rises just enough to break the earth's line. A helmet rim. A shoulder. A fraction of a second that should never have existed. Carter shouts, contact right, and the field explodes with controlled fire. Not panic. Discipline. 3 rifles crack in near unison, rounds snapping into the low rise where the sniper has tried to slip away. The firing stops as abruptly as it began. Dust hangs in the air. The smoke is gone now, burned off by the sun. Mallory rises just enough to see. The sniper does not fire again. Seconds pass. Then more. Mallory feels the tension unwind in stages, like fingers unclenching after hours of strain. Men lift their heads. Someone exhales loudly, almost laughing, then clamps a hand over his mouth in disbelief. Mallory does not move forward yet. He has seen this before. A wounded sniper can be more dangerous than a healthy one. They wait. They listen. Sergeant Reed breaks the silence. "I think we got him," he says quietly. "But I want eyes." Mallory nods and signals two men to advance, slow and offset, rifles trained. They move with the caution of men crossing thin ice. Every step is deliberate. Every shadow checked. They crest the small rise and stop. "Sir," one of them calls back, voice tight. "We've got him." Mallory rises fully now and walks forward, feeling the strange weightlessness that follows extreme fear. The ground no longer feels hostile. It is just dirt and stone again. The sniper lies on his side near the collapsed ditch, rifle still cradled in his arms. He is young. Younger than Mallory expected. His uniform is carefully arranged, camouflage improvised with local brush and cloth strips. The rifle is a scoped carabiner, clean, meticulously maintained. One bullet has struck him high in the chest. Another has caught his leg. He is alive, but barely. His eyes track the Americans without panic. Without hatred. Just awareness. Mallory kneels a few meters away, not close enough to be careless. "You stopped a company," Mallory says, more to himself than to the man. The sniper says nothing. He does not need to. Behind them, the field begins to move again. Men stand. Stretch. Retrieve equipment. The paralysis is gone. The spell is broken. The medic finally reaches Russo's body. He checks, then looks up and shakes his head. Mallory closes his eyes briefly. One shot. One life. One unit frozen in place for nearly an hour. Mallory looks back at the sniper, now being treated and guarded. The man had not needed artillery. Or machine guns. Or numbers. He had needed patience. Skill. And a single moment of precision. As C Company reforms and prepares to move forward again, Mallory understands something that no training manual can fully teach. Firepower wins battles. Numbers take ground. But fear controls time. And for a long stretch of that morning on the casino plain, time had belonged entirely to one unseen man with a rifle. The aftermath of a single bullet. The attack resumes, but it does not feel the same. The men of C Company advance past the place where they had been pinned, stepping carefully around the shallow impressions left by their own bodies in the mud. Each mark is a reminder of how close they came to staying there forever. Captain Mallory walks at the front now, helmet low, eyes constantly moving. The farmhouse is taken without resistance. The river line beyond it is quiet. Too quiet. But the paralysis is gone. The unit moves with purpose again, rifles up, spacing tight, trust slowly rebuilding between men and ground. Behind them, the sniper is evacuated under guard. He never speaks. Not during treatment. Not during transport. He stares at the sky as if replaying angles only he can see. Mallory watches him disappear down the path and realizes something unsettling. That man will be remembered more vividly than entire enemy platoons. Later, when the position is secure and the dead are counted, the scale of it becomes clear. 1 American killed. 1 wounded. No further casualties. On paper, it looks minor. Barely worth a footnote in the battalion log. But Mallory knows better. For nearly an hour, over 100 armed men had been reduced to stillness. Radios silent. Plans irrelevant. Time stretched and twisted by fear that could not be answered with firepower alone. That night, as the company digs in, the men talk in low voices. Not about the advance. Not about objectives. They talk about the sound of the shot. About how it felt to be watched and measured. About how the ground itself seemed to betray them. Private stories emerge. A man who nearly stood up and did not. Another who was certain the next bullet had his name on it. Fear shared becomes lighter, but it does not disappear. Mallory writes his report by red-filtered lamp. He is precise. Factual. He describes the sniper's effectiveness, his discipline, the way he shaped the battlefield without ever being seen. He does not write about how his hands shook afterward. In the weeks that follow, the lesson spreads quietly through the regiment. Movement becomes more deliberate. Observation more patient. No one underestimates stillness again. The men learn that the most dangerous enemy is not always the loudest or the most numerous. Sometimes it is the one you never see. Years later, veterans of the casino fighting will struggle to recall specific firefights. They blur together in memory. Noise and chaos and exhaustion. But many will remember that morning on the plain. The silence. The waiting. The certainty that something unseen had absolute control. They will remember how a single sniper shot did not just kill a man. It stopped time.